Hello, my name is Mike and I would like to take you through a very basic animation tutorial. So we are going to create something like this, okay, something like this. Now, we are going to start off. These are my source files. These are my source files, okay, yeah. And you see, we have the product file, we have the logo, we have the rice bowl, and we have the wooden background. Okay, yeah. So okay, let's start. So what you do is in Photoshop, make sure when you get to Photoshop, so you go to File, then you go to New. So you just choose any settings, but we'll use film and video. So you go to film and video, and you go to OK. You don't, it doesn't matter the resolution, so you just go to OK. You can always change the settings there, so that one shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, so let's just choose anyone there and just go to OK. Yeah. Then the next one is we drag the wooden page onto the software. Yeah, so you can just point to the sides or click on the lock there and drag to make it to scale uniformly, so that it can scale uniformly. Okay, then what we do next is we bring the products page onto Photoshop. Then we have to scale it, so point to the sides to just scale them. Yeah, or you can just click on the lock and scale it uniformly, so just point to the side, scale it nicely. Yeah, very nice. So you right click and rasterize, but first you can go to the magic wand too, then you click on the white layer, so to select the part we want to remove. Yeah, so you just, the magic wand has selected some parts that is affecting the product. So what we do is we just click on a different tool to remove those parts. Yeah, I'll teach you more on how to use that tool later. So you select the parts, you just right click the object in the layer box and you go to rasterize, so that you can be able to remove the parts. So edit and clear, that's all, automatically. And go to deselect. Make sure you go to select and deselect always. Yeah, if you don't do that, you can't use the object well. You can't control the object, so always make sure you go to object and deselect. Okay, yeah, so let's rasterize again. Yeah, move it. That's it. So our next is to bring the rice bowl. Yeah, so let me position the product very well. There are so many ways to scale your objects, but I want to make it easier for you. Okay, so you bring the rice bowl. That's the rice bowl file. I've already cropped it, so to make it easier, so we just drag it into our page. Next thing you do is to drag the logo onto the page. Also scale it. Yeah, scale the logo. Scale it nicely like that. Yeah, just right click and go to rasterize. Okay, then click on the magic wand to select the white area, edit, and you go to clear. Simple. Yeah, it's a simple way. Yeah, always make sure you rasterize before you can clear, otherwise it won't allow you. So make sure when you finish you go to select and you go to deselect. That is it. Okay, this should be it. So far these are the objects and files we need, and this is how we arrange it in Photoshop. Simple. So we can start our animation in After Effects. Okay, so before you go to After Effects, make sure you have a little knowledge on After Effects, but don't worry, this is what this tutorial is about. So this, I'm going to teach you basic animation from this right here. Okay, so let's save our file. So go to File, Save As. Okay, and anywhere you want to save it, then you just you type a name for it. So I've choose slide page, and I've saved it as Photoshop layers. Okay, so we are going to animate that file. Yeah. Thankfully, After Effects supports Photoshop files, so that shouldn't be a big problem here. That is it. So if you can check our save as again, you can see that I saved it as a Photoshop file. That's the most important thing. Okay, file save as, and it's in layers. Okay, make sure it's in layers. Okay, that's the most important thing. Make sure it's in layers. If it's not in layers, you can't animate them one by one. Make sure they are in layers before you can animate them one by one. Okay, so that's it. Okay, now here in After Effects, I'm using After Effects CS6 because number one, it's easier, and also it's render faster, and it supports a lot of file exports. When you're exporting, you have a lot of file types. So let's just start. So you go to File, Import, then you choose File, and you choose your Photoshop file. Okay, make sure you choose your Photoshop file. Okay, yeah, that's your Photoshop file. So just choose your Photoshop file, so you can locate wherever it is, and you go through the process. It's a simple way. So just choose your Photoshop file, and when you come to this dialog box, make sure you look for composition. Okay, retain layer styles. So if it's normally when you go, you see footages, but make sure you click the footages option and choose composition. Okay, yeah, so there are two compositions there, but just make sure you choose composition, either composition retain layers or just composition. So I'll choose retain layer sizes. That's what I'm going to use right now. So you click on OK. So you open this. When you see this here, you're happy. It means that you can now animate. Okay, so you open the first composition, just double click it. When you double click it, then it can now open for you, so you can see all your files, all your layers here neatly, nicely, just the way you designed it. Okay, so we are going to work with this. Okay, that is it. So we'll start by pulling the first layer back a bit, the second layer back a bit, third layer back, and maybe the fourth layer. You see, so now we are going to arrange them in order of appearance. Okay, so you can play to be just sure how they will appear. Okay, just to guide you. Okay, press the space bar to play, just to guide you. Okay, that is it. So let's start. So we drag the wooden page just to start. So that is our background. It should always be there. So now we go to our product, drag the product nicely, and we are going to make the product animate. Okay, that is what we are going to do. So it's going to move from one side of the screen to the other side of the screen, but it's actually going to appear from outside and come inside. Okay, that is the kind of animation you're going to do. So zoom in, use the down icon here to the zoom. When you press it, it will zoom in to your work area. So we drag it nicely. You can see that you can even click on it and just pull. Yeah, so look for the little option near the name, and under the transform you press that little bar. Now when you see these things, these are keyframes. Okay, this little stopwatch icon, these are keyframes. This allow you to animate. Okay, they are called keyframes. So you just look for the one near the position. Okay, you press that stopwatch icon and automatically it creates a keyframe for you. So we click on the value, the numbers there, just click on them and drag. That's all. So when you click on them and you drag, see that your object is moving. Okay, when it moves, you see that it sets a keyframe. This little point, it sets a keyframe for you. So we'll just go to the first page, we click and drag so that the object will go outside our whole page. Get it? Yes. Then we move the playhead nicely to another part of your timeline. Yeah, that's our timeline. So that's another part of the timeline. And then you just change the option there. Don't be worried when the rise bow appears. Don't be worried. We'll animate that one later. So now we change, we click and drag at the same place. Remember, yeah, the same place. So it's can. Now let's go back and play and see what happens. Go back and just play, see what happens. Okay, good. It appears nicely. Okay, now you should know that when you want your animation to slow down, you just have to increase your effect area. Okay, that is it. If the points, those little points, the keyframe points, when they are closer to each other, your animation will be faster. If they are far from each other, your animation will be slower. Okay, that is it. So that's what you should know. Yeah, their keyframe points, when they are further from each other, the animation will be slower, and when they are very close to each other, your animation will appear faster. So let's do it very close and you see something and play. You see it appeared very fast. Have you seen it? It appeared very fast. Yeah, these are some little basic points of animation that you should know. Okay, so let it appear smoothly. Let's bring it back to how we want it to appear. Okay. Good. Now we continue. We are going to do the same thing to the rice bowl. You see, yeah, we are going to do the same thing to the rice bowl. So let's make the rice bowl appear. Close the option, open it, choose transform to open it. And now you go to our position. Okay, yeah. So you press the stopwatch icon there. You can drag the keyframe position. Yeah. So now we do the same thing. You click and drag. Okay, that is it. Easy. So you drag the playhead to where you want it to be. Okay, then you click and you drag. That's all. You can experiment with them. When you make a mistake, don't worry, just experiment with them. Don't be afraid to use a software. One of the key ways to master a software is to throw away fear. Softwares are made for you to use. They don't destroy your computer. So just feel free, experiment. You have to try over and over and over again to master it. So that's what we're doing. So now let's continue. Let's do this nicely. Drag it so that right after this one settles, then this one comes in. Okay, so you click on the main layer and you drag so to position your animation so they appear in order. Okay, so right after the first one finish, the second one will just come in and it also settles. Yeah, so reduce the logo page for the next. So this one, you choose we are going to choose the animation, okay, how we want the logo animation to appear. So what we do is that we go to window and at effects and presets to make sure our animation templates appear. If you don't find them, just go to window, effects and presets. So it's normally located on your right. Okay, and there are so many options here, but we are going to choose one particular one. Okay, so we can animate our logo in a nice way. So there are lots of effect types here and transitions and everything you need to make your animation look good. So let's look for one here that's that we can use. Okay, yeah. No, not here. Not this side. Sometimes it's good to know the direct name that you want to use. Yeah, but as I said earlier on, you can just try them one by one till you get exactly how you want it to be. So I came to transition movement, and this particular one, card wipe 3D swing. So I click and drag it to my layer, or you can just double click it. Okay, yeah, it will just take effect on your layer. So that is exactly what we want to use. So you just click and drag, double click, that's all. Now you click the playhead and drag the playhead to just see a preview of how it will look like. So let's just press the space bar to see how our whole animation will look like. Voila, that's it. It appeared very nicely and very smoothly. Okay, it appeared very nicely and smoothly. So this is our small simple animation. Very simple, you see, very simple. That is it. It shouldn't be difficult. It shouldn't be complicated to use at all. It should not be difficult. You get it? Yeah. Okay, so we are going to um, resize it small, just the layer, so that it won't delay to appear. Okay, you can go to the back side also, just resize that one to drag and drag it back, so that right after this animation, this particular layer, right after the logo layer finish playing, we can let something else appear. So you can just drag that side behind a little bit. So let's play and see. In After Effects, it plays twice. So the first play is just to do a partial render, then you play again to make it appear very smoothly for you. Okay, what a thing. Let's check the time. Okay, we have a few minutes to go. I don't want to take much of your time since today's your first basic tutorial class, so I don't want to take much of your time. Okay, so we are okay now. So let's bring our final and last object, that's the text. Okay, so look for the T. You see, you just click on that one, the T icon. Okay, that is what will bring your text. Okay, so we click on the T icon to choose our text, and from there we go to the same place we choose the animation. You see, yeah. But in case you get stuck, just go back a little bit to where you think there is a problem, and just continue from there. So we just click our T and click on the screen, the main canvas, and we type anything you want to type. Yeah, any sentence you want to type. So when you get it, normally when you finish typing, you see this red thing that shows that you can't preview it. It's because the caps lock was on. So just press the caps lock. Okay, when you press the caps lock, then it will not appear. So you can arrange your text, you can color it, you can choose any color you want, you can even change the font any way you want it. So just click on the color box, the black there, and we choose white. Okay, we choose any color we want. You understand? Yeah. So you can also go to the layer panel, you right click it and you go to layer styles. Okay, if you want to give it some particular nice options like a shadow, or you want to even give it something like a stroke. Okay, you see I've given it a very nice red stroke. Okay, so I can come back and give it my color. You understand? That is it. So we are almost done. We've given the color to the text, so we are just going to give it its custom animation, and then you go. So make sure you go to window and effects and presets. Okay, if you don't find your animation. Good. So from here we look for text animation. Okay, don't use movement or anything, just look for text animation because it's a text, so look for the text animation. You understand? So from the text animation here, let's try the 3D flip in and rotate and see. Yeah, so you can just click and drag, or you double click, that's all. So we drag the playhead to see how it will look like, how it will appear. Okay, nice. It shows us how it will appear very nicely and very simply. You see, yeah, that's the thing. But there's just a little heads up. Okay, in case you find out that your animation is not really appearing, is because you have not selected the layer you want to apply the animation to. That is very, very important. Okay, yeah. Now when you apply the animation and it's plays, you can just click a bare side of your screen so you can see the whole thing well without the those little lines that is drawn around your objects. Yeah, you can always go to edit, undo, apply effect, and you can choose another effect. Okay, that is it. There's another effect, you can just choose it. So as I said earlier on, make sure you've chosen, or make sure you have selected your layer. That is very important before you go choosing the type of animation style you want to use for your layer. So yeah, you can always experiment. You can always go through them. There are lots of them, so just go through them and choose anyone. And these are, custom animations. You see, these are templates, so you can edit them to suit how you want them to appear nicely. So later I'll teach you how they are edited. Okay, that is it. That's it. Now, this is important. Okay, whenever you are animating something, okay, you need to understand the intro and the outro, how you want it to start and how you want it to end, and how fast you want it to move and how slow you want it to move. These are basics. If you don't understand these basics, these laws of animation, it will be difficult for you to actually animate. You see, and you need to understand how you want your objects to start on the screen, how you want it to end off the screen, how fast you want your whole animation to play. Okay, yeah. Maybe later in the other tutorials we'll learn about timing, the slowness, the speed, and how to set the time for our whole composition. So since this is your first, I don't want to take you too much. So this is what we've done. Yeah, you can just play back the whole animation to be sure. But let's continue. Right after the logo appears, just click the text layer, drag it neatly so that right after the logo animation appears, the text layer will appear. Okay, then later on we'll bring the logo back again. That is it. So we look for the logo. Go back to your project panel. You go to your project panel, and under the folder you look for, you see the logo is under the folder over there. Yeah, so we just click and drag it, and we also squeeze that side little. That is all. The logo is here, so you can click on the main screen there, your work area there, and you can position your logo here. That's all. So you play your overall animation. It looks very beautiful, very, very beautiful. So you asked me that, Mike, when you finish, what can we do with this? That is a good question. Whenever you finish animating here and you play back and you are sure of your results, this is where we convert it. You convert it to a different file format so you can watch it on any device you want to watch it on. You see, so converting here, you have to go through a process called render. So you click on composition and click on add to render queue. That is very, very important. Okay, so when you go to add to render queue, then you click on lossless. Okay, make sure you look for lossless. Okay, click on lossless, and the lossless will open a dialog box that will help you choose the file types you want, the basic and any other file type. Yeah, so we look for H.264. H.264 is a smaller MP4 file format. Yeah, but the quality is great, gives you great quality. The file size become smaller, and it also plays smoother. So you click OK, and you click on the name right there. You see, yeah, click on the name right there. When you click on the name there, it opens a dialog box to ask you where do you want to save the file. You see, then you just choose where you want the file to be saved, and you give it a name. So when you finish, you click on render. That's all. That is all. You see, that is all. It's not as difficult as you think it is. That's all. So render, depending on how fast your computer is or how slow your computer is, this shouldn't take much, because these are just some few Photoshop files that we came to edit, so it shouldn't take much. We'll just finish rendering for you, and you have your file. That is it. So let me show you how it looks like. This is a preview of what we just did. Good. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I have a lot more for you, but feel free to drop your questions and answers right under the comment section, and we connect. Thank you very, very much for joining my tutorial. My name is Mike, and take care. God bless you.